Oh, I'm sorry. You guys couldn't hear me. I'm sorry. All right. So for those of you who do not know me, my name is TK Works. I'm the project prevent coordinator for the Southeast region of Arkansas. So I'm Region 4. I work the following counties that include St. Francis, Lee County, Phillips County, Desha County, Drew County, Ashley County, and Chico County. And I'm also your lovely host for this month's statewide meeting. I love this time of year because fall is my favorite season. There's not only perfect weather, but there's beautiful colors and leaves and all that good stuff, and it's less bugs. The season also is the best time to kick off for the holidays and family time. So let's get into it. Our theme for this year is pressing play on prevention. All righty. Our agenda includes the Project Prevent updates, the chapter roles and responsibilities, Red Ribbon Weeks recap, how we're going to maintain a happy and healthy autumn, as well as keeping our community tobacco free and vape free. So, we have our Ready, Set, Record for 2025. We're excited to see how the youth will be presenting their videos for Ready, Set, Record, and keep in mind that those dates to submit those videos are October the 20th of 2025 through February the 9th of 2026. So let's keep the youth inspired and creative when it comes to them being tobacco and vape free. Also, I love explaining to the chapter advisors, if you have seniors that are graduating this year and that are needing community service hours awarded, let's make sure that they have the proper documentation as being a part of Project Prevent could help them with those community service award hours. Right, so our roles and responsibilities. So as a chapter advisor and as a chapter, let's keep in mind that each chapter must report their events and activities in REDCap. If you need help accessing REDCap, take the time to reach out to your Project Prevent coordinator in your area or in your region so that we can make sure that you are documenting your hard work. We also want to know of any chapter supplies and materials that you may need to help you meet those expectations throughout your term. Okay. And we're going to take a little deeper look at those responsibilities as a chapter and a chapter advisor. So, your youth leadership goals for Project Prevent, including establishing a chapter. So, of course, you're going to make sure you obtain approval through your school or organization to establish a Project Prevent chapter, which most of you have already done. Recruiting at least 5 youth members to participate in the chapter regularly, as well as promoting and maintaining the success and reputation of Project Prevent. All righty. And how you're going to maintain and coordinate the Project Prevent chapter. Have at least one chapter meeting with the youth members each month. Make sure you're submitting your monthly chapter reporting to your Project Prevent statewide coordinator. And again, that's what you would do in REDCap. If you have trouble, I know some people have had trouble in the past on trying to access REDCap. So please, please, please let us know so that we can make sure that all of your hard work is being documented. Attend a live or watch the recording of the statewide meetings, the one I'm doing now, and also host 2 chapter events and 2 chapter activities per school semester. So that would lead up to a total of 4 activities or events, and you guys are allowed to invite us to those activities. We would love, love, love to come out and see what your youth members are doing in the community. Also, we want you guys to attend the statewide Project Prevent annual conference with at least 5 of your youth members. Okay. Most of those annual conferences are held somewhere in between April and May. So if you guys, once we get more information on those conference dates, we will let you guys know. That's more of a to be announced type of deal, but we will try our best to make sure that we're getting that to you guys in a timely manner. Okay. As far as your chapter supplies and materials, if you are a funded chapter we want you to use those chapter funds given to you by the Project Prevent Youth Coalition to purchase supplies and materials to make sure that you have everything you need for your events and activities that you guys will be hosting. Aside from that, if you guys are an unfunded chapter, let us know as your youth coordinator. That's what we're here for. We are here to make sure that you guys have everything that you need to, maintain your events and activities. Again, if you need us to show up and we can bring some approved items, let us know. We want you guys to make sure that the supplies and the materials are available to the students of the chapter and are pre-approved by the Project Prevent statewide coalition. Okay. See. Here is a summary of your term expectations. So, basically what you're going to be doing for each term. So for the fall semester, that's where we want you guys to have, which like I said, you've already done. You've recruited your 5 members for the Project Prevent chapter. Attend a live or watch the recording of the 4 Project Prevent online state meetings. So they'll be for this semester with your chapter members for the months of September, October, and November and December. So this will be all considered within the first fall semester. Make sure you attend the Project Prevent annual conference with a minimum of your 5 students. Host a minimum of 2 chapter events, a minimum of 2 chapter activities, and make sure you guys are submitting your monthly reports. Same thing for the spring semester. Attend the live or watch a recording of the 4 statewide meetings for the month of February, March, April, and May. Host a minimum of 2 chapter events. Host a minimum of 2 chapter activities. Also, still make sure you're submitting your monthly reports. All righty. Here's the summary of Region 4's Red Ribbon Week. We had an amazing time, and guys, the youth are so smart. These babies, I call them babies. I'm sorry. They are so smart and intelligent. I love they actually they pay attention. They listen, and they are learning. So please make sure that with us being the youth coordinators and chapter advisors, that we're presenting facts that we've researched to the kiddos, because they are listening and learning and repeating everything that we say. They are very smart and intelligent. I love during one presentation that they actually explained how peer pressure can work into narratives. So basically, they explained how to rebuttal negative peer pressure by using positive peer pressure. So basically, what they were saying is if they have somebody that's trying to peer pressure them into vaping or smoking, they can also reverse their peer pressure and teach them the bad things about vaping and smoking and peer pressure them not to do it. So listening to these babies explain that was amazing. They are a lot smarter than we think. We also played several games. I am not TikTok savvy, but they taught me how to be TikTok savvy. So one game we played was Truth or Myth, and we discussed on which was worse, the vaping or the cigarettes. But the favorite game was actually brought to me by my 11-year-old daughter. I love bringing my kids to these presentations because they're learning themselves. But we listen, and we don't judge. And it's where I basically, hey, have them all say together, we listen and we don't judge, and let them raise their hands like, hey, how many of us have a member of our family that smokes or actually seen someone that smokes or vape? And we do have to redirect them to make sure they don't shout out any names, because they get carried away, especially our next gen groups. But you would be surprised at what these kids see, and just like we have 2 eyes, they have 2 eyes. Just like we have 2 ears, they have 2 ears. They are watching, they are listening, and they are learning. Listening to half of them kind of give a personal testimony of how someone in their family may smoke or vape is actually astonishing, because they actually understand that it can harm them from a form of secondhand smoking, and how it's a bad influence. So let's keep in mind that as chapter advisors and as an adult youth leader that they look up to, that they are watching, they are listening, and they are learning. Also, I've learned from them. They had a bunch of neat questions. So I called them my Red Ribbon Week brain busters. So the e-cigarettes or vapes versus the other tobacco products, I got a bunch of kids that asked which one is worse. Which one has more nicotine? Why do people believe vapes are better than other tobacco products? Who is the target for the vape sales? And how does smoking affect your mental and emotional well-being? That was a good one. And that actually came from a 6th grader. How does smoking affect your mental and emotional well-being? And then last but not least, how does peer pressure changes one's mind about smoking? So of course, these kids, they like I said, they're listening, they're learning, and they have questions. They want to know why we're what our purpose is for being there and wanting to them to remain tobacco free and vape free. Um, they actually surprised me with a lot. I took a bunch of feedback and turned it into my own way of, like I said, making these brain busters and making sure I ask these questions. And like I said, majority of these questions came from my next gen groups. I had a fifth and sixth grade group that were very anxious to learn. So let's keep in mind that we're making sure that these babies are fact fed, making sure that they are getting the proper documentation and that we're doing our research before taking this out to the communities and the chapters and educating everyone else. Okay. All righty. This falls into my favorite time of year, which is also flu and respiratory illness season. Sorry. So we're gonna fall into happy and healthy habits. And again, this goes along with making sure that the kids are fact fed. So one being smoking can increase risk of catching illnesses like the flu, COVID-19, and other respiratory diseases. Number two, smoking weakens your body's ability to fight off illnesses. Three, a person that smokes is already at risk of developing sinus and nasal issues, sore throat, respiratory illnesses that affect the lungs, which makes it, of course, harder for them to breathe. Smoking can reduce the effectiveness of vaccines and antiviral medications designed to protect against infectious and contagious diseases like the flu and COVID-19. And last but not least, smokers are more prone to getting sick due to a compromised immune system and damaged lung function. So let's make sure that we're also staying healthy, washing hands. If we have to go back to wearing masks, to make sure that we're not spreading those germs. And also making sure that the youth understand that smoking can kind of make getting sick around this time of year a little bit worse. And these are facts. You can ask your local primary care physicians. Most of these come from documentations. Like I do get some of my documentations off of Health Med and Health Co. So explaining to these babies that they are facts and researched and helping them understand why things could happen in this form as far as smoking and how it can make getting sick around this time of year 10 times worse. Okay. All right. And we have ways to keep my community peers and myself tobacco free and vape free. One is being an active member of Project Prevent. So, chapter advisors, don't be afraid to go ahead and still recruit throughout your term and make sure that you got some kids. If the next gen, they're fourth through sixth grade, and then you have your Project Prevent, which is seventh grade through 12th grade, still go out and recruit and help these kids become a member of Project Prevent. Okay. Also, researching and exploring the facts about smoking. We want to encourage our youth as well as our community to be tobacco free and making sure that we are distributing the facts and researching the laws for vaping, exploring and explaining the health risk of tobacco and vaping that our youth can stay fact fed. Okay. Some people have not been familiar with the Act 590, which went into effect September the 1st and has been enforced as of November the 1st, which is the law that prohibits the sale of nicotine containing disposable vapes unless approved by the FDA. So that is the plan to restrict marketing that may appeal to minors. So while you guys are out in the community, make sure that people are aware of this law that has recently become into effect, as well as, like I said, keeping them fact fed and making sure that they are doing everything possible to keep the community and themselves tobacco and vape free. This concludes today's statewide meeting. I hope you all have a happy and healthy fall and a safe holiday season. Take care.